Welcome back, everybody. This is a patron-only lesson here on patreon.com/Kalani. World Drum Club, I'm Kalani. You know that. This is by patron request, and this is a lesson breakdown on Guaguanco for 3 drums. There's also one for 2 drums. You can watch that one separately. 3 drums with rumba clave, right, which we just heard. So in this lesson, I'm going to be showing you what I'm doing, slowing it down. We're going to look at how to start, how to align with the clave, how to make sure you stay aligned with the clave, and I will show you the simple way that I'm playing Guaguanco. There's lots of ways to play Guaguanco. There isn't just one way, lots of different styles. I'm going to show you one, and this is easy, very simple technique. So let's get started. I'm going to go back to the overhead view. I'm going to play it again, and then we'll break it down. So if it sounds too fast at first, don't worry. We'll go much slower. So here's the rumba clave. Okay, so first of all, let's be sure we know what rumba clave is. Rumba clave is a little different than son clave. Son clave is what we think of when we think about ballroom style club, salsa style, ba 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 ba. It's some more typical clave that we have here in America too, in Northern America, U.S. music, a little more common. Rumba clave, of course, is where the third note of the 3 side is delayed an 8th note, or just a little bit. If you don't want to be technical, that's okay. It's delayed a little. So instead of ba, 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 it's ba, ba, ba. All right, just a little. It's in between the main notes. So that's important. If you're not sure about that, practice that, look it up, do some research on rumba clave. I'm going to assume that you know what rumba clave is, you're comfortable hearing it, you know where it aligns with the rhythm. In fact, you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to put down a shaker part so that we can hear 8th notes with the clave, and then we'll build the congas on top of that. I think that'll give you a little more to work with, a little more structure. So let's do that. I'm just going to record it real quick. One and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so let's go and look at the conga part, look at the pattern, look at the tones. Then we'll come back and integrate that with the clave rhythm, because those are 2 different things. We need to learn the conga part, but we're not playing it in a vacuum. We're not playing it off by itself. It's got to lock in. In fact, clave, for many people, means key. The clave or the peg, clave or clave, clave, is key or peg, meaning it holds things in place. It's also been compared to the keystone of an archway, without which you don't have an arch, right? You just have a bunch of stones on the ground. All right, so let's go to the overhead, and I want to show you bit by bit what we're doing. And we're going to start on the 3 side, or what most people hear of as the beginning of the clave, right? So the dot, 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 ba, 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 ba. We'll start right there. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba. First thing we're going to do, well, let me draw your attention to this. Ba, 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 ba. So the second note of the clave is going to be on our low note. That's what we're playing on the tuba over here. So we're still gonna start on 1, but there's not much going on. We're just gonna play some touches. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. All right? Ba, ba. Ba, ba. Playing eighth notes, just alternating right now. And we're not doing any doubles. So that should be good news. We're just doing eighth notes, tapping. Let's just call them ghost notes for now. Ba, ba. Ba, ba. All right. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba. And then we go over here. Now, even though, excuse me, I just sang son clave, I'm just showing you where we're hitting the drum. So this conga, we're hitting on 4 of the same rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Right? That's pretty much it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And. So this is more of an accent. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Guess what? That's where the rumba clave, the third note of the rumba clave, hits there. If you're right-handed, it hits in the left. Da, da, da. Da, ba, ba. All right, so that's really the hard part. That's the kind of the key of this whole rhythm. Ba, ba, ba. I'm doing kind of a muted slap. You could do a lot of things there. You can do an open slap. You could put a tone. You know, right now we're not worrying so much about the tones. We're just looking at the pattern. Ba, 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 ba. All right, so it's a little tricky because you're landing on the drum. You hear the conga, you hear that note, but that's not where the clave is. It would be if it was son clave, but we're talking about rumba clave. So, dot, 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 dot. Right? Let's just do the first part, and I'm going to sing the clave through, but I'm only going to play that bar, the 3 side. Only playing the 3 side. I hope. Let's see how it goes. Ba, ba, with me. Ba, 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 ba. Okay? Hopefully that's pretty comfortable. Now, if we need to slow it down, let's slow it down. Although, you know, I got to say that when you get to a certain point, going slower does not help. It might make it harder because then there's a lot more space between the notes and it's hard to feel it and hear the melody. So I want to go back now to the clave, regular tempo, and then I'm going to slow it way down. But I want you to hear it because now you know what's happening, right? You know what's happening now. So let's listen to it again, overhead view with the clave and the shaker, and you'll see that that's what I'm playing, is what I just showed you. 1, 2, 1, 2. So, not too complicated. I'm going to give you guys notation, but I really don't want you to rely on the notation. You're hearing it, you're seeing it, I'm explaining it. should be enough. The reason I don't give you notation for everything, or I really recommend you don't use notation for everything, is notation is something that you should do for yourself after you've played something, after you've heard something. Notation is best used, it's not only used, obviously, for things that you've heard and played already, but it is best used for things that you've heard and played already. Why? Because notation is it's like notating a conversation. You don't learn a conversation from reading the conversation. You have the conversation, you have the experience, then you can write it down. Those are notes, right? Notation. I notated it. So notation is a record of something. It's not necessarily the way to experience something, the way to learn something. Of course, there's exceptions to that. Of course, I'm a fan of notation. I'm not saying I'm not a fan of notation. Just saying the ideal way to do it is do it, hear it, play it, then notate it yourself, ideally, and then refer to it when you forget because you're older. All right, let's move on and do the, and I haven't forgotten about slowing way down. I'm going to do that together when we have both bars. Let's do the two side of the clave, which is where we have our distinctive da, da, right? That comes on the downbeat and the and of two. Let's go. Let's see it. Well, let's hear it first. I'm going to just play it and then we'll slow it down, analyze it. Okay, what do we have? Tone, dot, 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 right? Bop, 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 boom. If I was alternating, it would be right, left, right. But we're not alternating, so we're not completely alternating. Okay, so I take back what I said earlier. We are alternating our hands, but we're not alternating them always in eighth notes. So what we're going to do here is tone, muff, tone, or mute. Some people say muffled tone. So if you're in England, sorry about that. Sounds rude in English if you're in England. Tone, mute, tone. And then we're going to hit and that's on 4 over here, just like before. B4 on 4, and then we have a little 4 band. And that vibration is my Cajon snare that I'm sitting on, so not to worry. Tone, mute, tone, mute, tone. Tone, mute, tone, mute, tone. And listen to it with the shaker. And E. 2, 3, 4. 2, 8. 3, 4. Let's go back to speed. Okay, so now, listen again. I'm going to put it together. I'm just going to play it for you. I want you to listen. Just listen to it. That's your job right now. We're going to start on the 3 side, right? Go to the overhead. Okay. Now I hope you're doing okay with this. You've got the pattern, right? And you're hearing it with clave. Let's go back. I'm going to do it really slowly now, without clave, just you and me with your congas. Hopefully you can do this. You can do this on your table. You don't need your congas with you. Just do it on your lap or your drums if you have them available. All right, let's go back. Now, what I want to do here is actually I'm going to lay down a steady beat, and I'll play to that. So I'll do that right now. Steady beat. And let's see, we'll go really slow. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's try. I'm going to try to do another. I'm going to lay down a clave. I hope. Can I do that? Well, I need 4 bars, actually. I don't know if I can do it. Because the loops aren't long enough to do that. So let's skip that part. I think you've got it slow enough now so that you have the conga pattern, hopefully. And you've got the shaker, you've got the clave. So let me go back. I'm going to play a little, and I will bring out some of the accent tones, because that's the last thing that you want to add after you've got the hand pattern and the drum pattern, the melody, the rhythm. The rhythm's kind of similar to in both bars. What you're doing in your hands, actually, it's similar, not the same, but similar. And then other than that, we're going to bring out a couple tones just to make it interesting, just to make it stylized, and sound like a lot of people play it. So let me do that real quick, and I want to point out a couple of the tone differences that you can add in. So when you do it, when you start off on the 3 side, you could add a couple accent notes here. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and, right? That would be, let's just leave it at that for now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's what we could bring out there. On the other side, you've got, basically just the left hand. Maybe do that on the end of 4. So that together, let's start on the 3 side now. You could have 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? You see how those connect? That's kind of fun, right? Let's leave it at that. That's pretty fun. And should sound good. No need to complicate it further. All right, so let me play these. I'm going to play these parts. And I'm going to add a little reverb. And just listen, listen to the pattern. I'll go back to the overhead. Here we go. Okay. All right, hope you guys are good at this point. By the way, if you are not aware, there is a folder that's called a media folder for World Drum Club. It's on the page. It's linked on the Patreon page. If you go to the top, it's pinned. It's in that resources folder. And there it's called World Drum Club Resources folder. And I will link it to this video, but you should be able to find it on a post. Resources, World Drum Club Resources. And in there are all kinds of tracks that I've made for you guys, play-along tracks. One of them is rumba clave with I believe, a shaker. So on the steady beat, one, or on the half notes, I think. But there's a steady shaker beat with the rumba clave. And that is a great way to practice this because it gives you structure, but not too much structure. It makes you listen and pay attention to the clave rhythm. And it also helps you keep the steady beat without too much support. You know, I want you to do some of it on your own and not have too much support. So there is such a thing as too much. But you could program a drum machine, you could use a loop, you could use a program like GarageBand or equivalent on a PC. Anything to play the clave, rumba clave, add in shakers or steady beats or whatever you need to stay connected to the rhythm and the pulse and everything. And then just, play at any tempo that's comfortable for you. Slow it down, speed it up. Practice it. And then play along with music. And because you will hear all of these things when you practice with rumba. This is for rumba. This is for traditional, like Los Muñequitos de Matanzas, Los Papines, Totico y sus rumberos, old school Cuban, Puerto Rican rumba music, the folkloric music, not salsa, right? That's different. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. There is a 2-drum breakdown, pretty much the same thing we just did here, not as long. I'm considering this the main video, but I'll do the same thing for 2 drums. It's basically just putting a bass tone where the tumba was, but maybe there's some slight differences there, but that's basically the difference. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a supporter of the channel. I'll see you in a future video.